Mitch from sportschatplace.com and pickdogs.com. I don't know how that thing popped up on there, but we'll take it. But anyways, sometimes you just amaze yourself with this stuff. But anyways, it's Friday, May the 8th, 2020, and I'll tell you what, the news that's coming out from around the world about sports is all good. I know Rod has said a bunch of stuff about the NHL. I don't know, I went into some pretty extreme detail there, so I tuned out about halfway through, but I'll explain it to everybody what he knows about that. But anyways, of course, we got Chris Ruffalo, the Puck Dog, Steve Monahan, and Rod with us today. NFL released its schedule yesterday, and normally it's something I don't care about, but since we have nothing else going on, we care about it all of a sudden. If it was baseball season and NBA playoffs going on right now and NHL playoffs, we would not be talking about the NFL schedule. That's for damn sure, because it's basically set ahead of time, right? It's like everyone plays one team from one of the divisions, and it's like you can tell at the end, at the last game of the season for the NFL, after the last game of this regular season has completed, what teams your team or any team is playing the next year. It's just a matter of when they play them and where they play them. And now, the NFL, they'll whore themselves out for basically anything. They have to turn it into an event like they did to the draft combine, right? Oh, man. Let's televise the combine. Good stuff, right? Anyways, like I said, it's Friday. We're gonna kick it old school. Man, I sound old and white when I say that. But we're gonna do it here. Kick it old school. We're going to bring the guys in all at once, and we're back to picking some stuff. So there we go. First, we're going to take it to Rod. Rod, just tell everyone what you heard about the NHL. Just let everyone know. I can't hear you. You're muted.
You're muted. There we go. Morning, everybody. This new fangy dangle thing, you gotta mute yourself and unmute yourself. So there, we're unmuted. Anyways, about just before the show started, the Ontario government put an emergency order into place that lets all pro athlete teams in Ontario go back to, they're able to go back to their training facilities and work out. So that means any NHL team, the NBA teams, CFL teams, all the professional teams in the Ontario area, which include Toronto and those and the Raptors, will all be back in their facilities practicing, and that was effective immediately. That they are allowed to go back to their facilities and work out as a team.
So, nice. That's big stuff. And I think that the Korean baseball had something to do with it. I really do. That ESPN's showing Korean baseball. It's kind of like scab games in the NFL strike. It kind of is a little bit like the old scab game.
Scab games, yeah.
No, and I'm telling you, it's scab game worse than preseason. It's like it's unwatchable. It's unwatchable crap. It's like, oh man, yeah, they're gonna have scab games and whatever. It's like nobody watched it. They offered like a choice, like you could get a refund, like for your tickets, or go to the scab game. It was like everybody took it. But anyways, Chris, how you doing? It looks like you moved today. Are you in the closet, or you just maybe took a couple steps over? Are you halfway out the door?
No, I took a couple steps over. No, I had to come to the other house to sort of run some errands today. So
I moved to the other residence, my country home. Our city, our condo in the city, as opposed to our sprawling palatial estate in the country. Okay, must be nice over there in Mississauga. I've been there. I've been to Mississauga. The houses are like this close to each other. It's like they're like these cool bungalow style houses, but they're like it's like Queens. It's like it's like they're separate, but it's like you stick your arm out there. It's like you can open up the window. It's like, man, they redecorated their bathroom over there.
Reach out the window for a cup of sugar for myself.
Hey, do you think?
Mind them,
Do you think they're home? they're watching an episode of Hill Street Blues from 1978. It's like, I remember this one. They're doing roll call. Anyways, so that's really good news from the NHL. The baseball players are going to be speaking today in the NBA. Mark Cuban, I don't know, man. He might be in favor of it. He might not be. This is a guy that swings like a pendulum, right? You know? And it's like, he just wants to be to the forefront of it. And I think that when they get back, it'll be nice to have him on our side for a change. But, yeah, so the NFL schedule is out. You know, a day ago they're talking about, you know, is the NFL going to oh, also I want to say that we're getting the odds here from DraftKings, who we do have a relationship with, so we'll be running stuff with DraftKings, but we also just signed a deal with Bet365, only in New Jersey, but they are, I'll say it, the very, very best of the best sports books. So when they come across the United States, we're going to be first in line to get you guys the best deals, the best offers, all that kind of stuff. They sent me an email. They're way excited to work with us. I'm like floored because they're the guys, like when they talked about all the European books coming into the U.S. and opening up, those were the guys that I was really excited about. And I know that in Canada, you guys used to have Bet365. And just the options that they have as far as in-game betting and props and everything else is just like, basically, they have more of that stuff, and it's hard for people to believe that have never seen their app before, but they have more of those options of props and in-game betting and anything like that than all the other books combined. I showed a screenshot of my friend's ticket from the World Cup that England would score 2 headers against Sweden for goals, would score goals on 2 headers, and he bet that on Bet365, and it paid like, you know, $10 paid him like $20,000 or something. But that's, you know, Bet365 is the size of Caesars, MGM, and William Hill combined. That's how big they are. And it's owned by one person, which I love. You know, it's an amazing thing. It's owned by one lady. Owns the whole thing. Her husband started it. So I love all that stuff. But anyways, one thing I also love is betting on anything. So that includes NFL football. Most people know we cover NFL football, and I don't love it the way that I used to. You know, when I was a kid, I loved NFL football. I looked forward to going to the Dolphin games every Sunday. I really don't think that the product that we see today on the field is, and maybe, you know, maybe our parents were saying the same thing, but the product that we see in today's NFL is not the product that I grew up with, and that which made me love football. That's for sure. It just isn't. But this is what you guys want, so we cover it. And you know, like anything else, you know, I have the same attitude that the players have. I'm just in it for the money. So when it comes to betting NFL football, that's for sure. You guys know with almost everything else, it's the opposite for me, right? So I can care less. But we're going to take a look at it. We open it up. The Texans and the Chiefs, it's an interesting matchup. And the Chiefs, 10-point favorites at Arrowhead in a September game. Steve?
It's a lot of points for the home opener.
People are hating the Texans, right? And it's like, do you think you think it's that they had to have the Chiefs, or that it was just, you know, an interesting,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, the Chiefs, obviously, you know, marquee team, Super Bowl champs. That makes sense. The Texans,
they generally have the Super Bowl chance, but normally they can manipulate the schedule and put them against the Steelers or Packers or something, right?
Well, again, the Texans aren't, you know, a doormat. You know, they got Deshaun Watson. They're competitive, so
we don't know how competitive they're going to be because they've relied on Fuller now at wide receiver, and he's basically the Sean Lee of the Texans. You know, I mean,
yes, I can understand that. But 10-point swing there. I'll take the Texans early on here. That's too many points for me. I'll take the Texans.
How about you guys, Rod?
Yeah, early in the season, I think 10 points is too much. I'd have to lean early here for Houston plus 10.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, banner raising ceremony. You have to think Houston wants a little bit of revenge after blowing that lead against Kansas City in the playoffs last year. They were 24-0. So I don't think Houston.
Yeah, I think it's just a tough call for me. I'm gonna have to wait to see what happens in the preseason, who gets arrested and who gets, thrown out, cut.
Arrested. Those are very.
It's today's NFL.
Unfortunately, that's like part of the scouting report.
It is the scouting report, and hopefully, we can only hope that we do have Bet365 in a lot more states by the time the NFL season starts, because I'm sure we could bet on, who has the most offensive tat, can you see the Patriots kickers, white supremacist tat, still, or, any of these things. Yeah, I just really love what they're doing there with Roger Goodell's NFL. It's like, and they're worried about a horse collar tackle.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the league that brought us Aaron Hernandez and Ray Caruth. Anyways, we got the Dolphins and the Pats. Of course, right behind me, one of my favorite Dolphin Pats plays of all time. Unfortunately, Ruth and Gehrig over here are blocking Gronkowski sprawled out on the turf there. I think you can still see him. I know that's a little blurry in the background, but I don't care. I think that when I decided to build a studio, and people ask me, what are you going to put in the background, stuff like that, and I said, if I'm building a studio, it has to have Gehrig and Ruth in some capacity, or else it just doesn't even make sense from a sports standpoint. So we're still looking for a permanent home for him. Right there below Jerry Garcia is always a good spot. Jerry, Lou, the Babe. That would be a fun party. That's all I gotta say. That would be a real good time. But anyways, back to this one. The Gronk could even go to that one too, and we'd probably take it up another level as well. But so the Dolphins beat the Patriots last year in New England. Not this game, but another one, and that was the one that really was the end of the Tom Brady era. Forced the Pats into that first round game that they went on to lose to the Titans. And the Dolphins have the Pats number. They beat them at least once a year, just about every single year. Getting a touchdown here as we unleash, probably a new look Dolphins team, and definitely, a new look Pats team. Chris, what are you thinking here for this gem?
This is a game for me where there's too many unknowns, but I'll still take Miami and the points. Put a little bit on the Dolphins money line. I just don't know if Jarrett Stidham's going to be the guy going forward. I mean, Miami improved in the draft, and they got their guy at quarterback. So it's like you said, they beat him once a year, so maybe this is the year where they get him first.
Rod?
Yeah, I'm with Chris. I'm leading to the Dolphins here with the points. But there's still so many question marks with New England. I know their defense is just as good.
I think there's question marks with New England, but I think there's question marks with Miami. I think that we're going to see Ryan Fitzpatrick in that game for Miami as well. But he's going to have a lot more help, but he's got a lot of rookies, that are going to be starting. This is Miami team is still going to be a year or two away, Steve?
Nah, I'm with the guys here. I think it's too many points, too many unknowns. I'm not sure Stidham's the answer. It could be Hoyer, could start. But to your point, Miami will have a lot of rookies. But you also made the point, Miami beats them once a year, it seems like, for the last, while here. And we saw it again last year. So I'll take Miami here on this.
We got the Packers up against the Vikings. This one they threw the hook in here for the Vikes at 3.5. So here's the issue. Here's the issue that I have with this one and the hook especially is, number one, you don't want to give Aaron Rodgers the hook and at 3.5. That's for sure. And I thought that as good as Dalvin Cook was, that Diggs has been the bailout guy, kind of the DeAndre Hopkins of the Vikings. And until I see that he's fully replaced, I'm not ready to buy into this team. I'm going to take the Packers here plus the 3.5. Opening day, and it's going to be a raucous building. That's a tough stadium. Steve?
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Diggs is gone, but they just drafted Justin Jefferson, who is one of the receivers that we liked in the draft, but he's a rookie. The pack, I'm going to take the pack here too. I'm definitely taking them.
This is one of those big games. The Cousins in a big game. How does he do? Not so good. Give me the Packers. Money line. Five.
I'm gonna drink my coffee with the pinky up because Chris is at the city condominium.
I'm at the duplex.
At the duplex.
Yeah, no, I'm on the Packers money line as well. It's like Rod said, Kirk Cousins in the big game just doesn't show up.
Yeah.
I think that, I just think Green Bay getting 3.5 is about value there as it is, but I think they win it outright.
Me too.
Got the Colts and the Jaguars. Big expectations from the Colts this year. No expectations of the Jaguars. I have to say, I'm not a Minshew guy. It's like there's certain guys like I'm obviously not a Wentz guy, right? I mean, I'm obviously not a Goff guy, not a Trubisky guy, and I'm certainly not a Minshew guy either. I think that the issue that we have here though is that we have a quarterback and he's at the end of his career. He knows this is his last chance, to go to a Super Bowl and to win a Super Bowl. But he throws just a ton of interceptions. It's got a real. I love the Buckner edition though. That's like they traded the first round pick all day, all day, and twice on Sundays.
Yeah.
Rod, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm thinking I take the Colts. I'm not taking the Jags. I'm not a big shoe guy either.
Steve?
Yuck.
Steve?
Jags are in trouble.
Yeah. Boo on Minshew. Leonard Fournette's not going anywhere now. They're, with the Jags, but the Colts, I think Rivers, he throws a lot of interceptions, but, the Colts are the better team here early. I'll take the Colts.
Chris?
I like the Colts in the under.
So,
I think it's going to be a lower.
so two of the longest losing streaks in the history of football were both by the Cleveland Browns. And the odd thing is about these losing streaks for the Cleveland Browns is they were back to back. When did they break the losing streak and get back to losing? The home opener. I'm going to take the Jags in this one. They might not win another game all season, but I think you take the Jags money line here, and we'll probably get some value betting against them for a week or two because of it. But I just think that the home, you have to take into consideration. This is the home opener. Like we've taken in the other game, we've taken road dogs. We haven't taken it. This is the first big road favorite, a full touchdown. Speaking of home favorites, Detroit Lions a full point over the Bears. Nick Foles and company, who Nick Foles, we've seen him on other teams, including the University of Arizona, where he's really not that good, but for some reason he plays really well in Philly. So I don't know. Steve?
I'm going to take the Lions at home here. I'll take the points here. Stafford's back. He should be healthy. The Bears are, this isn't the 85 Bears we're talking about. So I'll say Detroit in the home opener gets a win here. I'll take Detroit.
I'll take the Bears. The Detroit Lions and their lovely running backs. No thanks. Give me the Bears.
Chris?
I'll take the Lions. They were competitive to finish the year last year, and I think that carries over, and they bolstered the defense a little bit. So
last year we did do opening. They did do the same thing, opening games and opening lines. And right when the games and the lines came out, the one that people jumped all over in our Facebook group, and I know you guys will remember this because we always remember everything, but. The thing is that everyone took the Lions against the Cardinals was the pick on opening day. They took the Lions to go into Arizona and beat the Cardinals on the road. They were 3-point favorites, like in the early line. And I was just like, I'm going to bet on Matt Stafford on the road on opening. Yeah, like that's going to happen in my lifetime ever. And Matt Patricia, and I'll tell you what, up against that Bears defense, I'm not betting against Matt Stafford even at home. It's like, fine, they got Rod's guy, they got DeAndre Swift. Let's see what he does, you know? I know Rod likes DeAndre Swift a lot, you know?
He'll swiftly disappear into the night.
Well, we're going to find out what he's made of because I'll tell you what, I think that when it comes to defense, you have Khalil Mack, but you also have the guy who is, they have a guy on that defense who has the presence in the locker room and backs it up on the field and doesn't allow anybody to take the play off, and that guy's Eddie Jackson, and I do think that guy is the difference maker, and he might be the best guy in that role, kind of that Ronnie Lott, team leader, like, Mike Singletary type guy in the entire NFL. And I think it's going to take a lot more than the Detroit Lions to make Eddie Jackson not want to decapitate somebody out there. The guy also has a real good nose for the football. I'm going to take the Bears on Eddie Jackson alone. We got the Bills against the Jets. The JTS, Jets. And I was spending money. I thought they had one of the best drafts. But nobody can take solid, developed talent and turn it into mush and garbage like Gase. No, there's nobody has that skill and talent base. It's like
that's a unique skill, all right.
It is. This is a guy where like Drew Brees could have been available, or like Tom Brady or something to come to the Jets, and it's just like, it's the guy's ego so big. He's like, let's see if we can get Osweiler out of in here, or maybe Brian Mallett out of retirement, because I can coach this guy to be better than that. And I'm taking the Bills all day in this one. I think it's going to be the best tailgate scene of the entire opening week. I'm going with the Bills. Chris?
They don't have any alternate lines yet, but I'd take some alternate lines.
Yeah, I'm alternate line in this.
Minus 9.5, minus
13 and a half.
I think it's going to fall out, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a slaughter.
Bills Mafia will be pumped. They'll be like, yeah, let's go.
Bills are thinking Super Bowl,
Oh, yeah. This Bills team's good.
All day with the Bills.
Yeah. Bills, I'll look at alternate lines as well when they come out.
We got the Eagles up against the Redskins. The Eagles 5-point favorites at FedEx Field. I'm on the Redskins in this one. I cannot bet on Carson Wentz on the road. I take the under in minutes played by Wentz this season as well. I like I like the under in the Eagles win totals. I like any way we can fade the Eagles except I do like the over in like fumbled and muffed kicks and punts. I think we're going to see a lot of that in Philly this year too. I don't know. Steve, we got the king of the 6-yard completion on 3rd and 7 going here. I think that Haskins. I really think that Haskins last year got. I think that this was the guy that everybody underrated and like really downplayed his ability because he had nothing. Okay, he had nothing. He had a lousy team and whatever like that. And yeah, he needs a little work. He's got to get rid of the ball a little quicker, whatever. But this guy also it's not like he came out like this polished passer, from anything I said. He showed that he has the skills and he can complete a pass. I think he has a much higher ceiling than what we've seen from him. And I would expect that, we're going to see better things from Haskins and people are going to be like, wow, this guy actually not so bad. I'd way rather pin the Trubisky.
Yeah, they threw him in. He didn't even get a chance to warm up. They just hucked him in. And get in there.
Yeah.
Let's see how you do.
Yeah. You saw what Alex Smith did behind that line. It was gruesome. It was,
It was gruesome.
It was like, don't watch this. It's like.
But I like the Redskins here. Ron Rivera, the new coach, who's going to instill good culture, defense, etc. to your point, the Eagles going down to FedEx. So you give me the Redskins here. I'll take the points with the Redskins. And I think Haskins, obviously, was thrown to the fire last year. Got better as the year, progressed. I think he only played, 4 or 5 games maybe in total. But, we shall see. But I'll take the Redskins here. Chase Young making his debut. I'm sure he might have a sack or 2.
I've seen this line up to 6 on some other books, so yeah, I would take the Redskins plus the points here. You know what? Usually
I'm on the Redskins as well. I think Rivera puts in a different culture right away, and we see it from the first game.
Yeah.
So Baker Mayfield rides into battle in Baltimore for opening day. I think the Ravens are going to be a little salty after that loss to the Titans, and they've had to sit with that thing for a lot of months now. They've loaded up on defense, adding Calais Campbell to the mix. Myles Garrett, we don't know if he's back or not for this thing. They have kind of like that indefinite suspension thing. My guess is he's going to be back, and and he should be. It's like
Time served for him.
Yeah, I think so. It's like, but I think he might be one of these guys who ends up being on a short leash, and kind of like how Mark Cuban is with in the NBA. It's just constantly getting fined and stuff. But I think that I think the Ravens just unleash here on the Browns. The Browns have a lot of talent, but they have problems at quarterback, and I just don't think Baker Mayfield, this time right now, has got to be killing him because he's a guy that actually really does need the work. There's some guys that really need the work, and I think Baker Mayfield's one of those guys. Steve?
I'm with you 100% here. Baltimore is going to be upset. They had the best record last year. Jackson wins the MVP. They're rolling along, and boom, they get knocked out. I think they take it out on Cleveland, and it should be ugly. So I'll take the Ravens a little back.
Chris?
Yeah, I think the Ravens get revenge here after Cleveland went into Baltimore last year and beat them. So it's like you said, they loaded up on defense. I think that's too much for Baker Mayfield here. I'll lay the points with Baltimore.
I'll be searching for an alternate line on that one. They become available. They win by 2 touchdowns or more.
Trying to
I like the over. I think we're going to see some points. We're going to be a drubbing.
We go to Atlanta, where the Falcons are taking on the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks generally slow starters and all that kind of stuff, and always look worse than they need to look. And the Falcons kind of added a lot of pieces that have been missing. It's odd to think this, but we're kind of at that last chances for Matt Ryan here. He's a guy I think could use a change of scenery, but he makes so much money. It's going to be very, very hard to do anything. But I think, boy, imagine if he was on the Patriots, right? I don't know. I think this is one of the tougher games on the board. The Falcons the last 2 seasons have been so disappointing, but they've had a ton of injuries, so you can give them a little bit of a break. Chris, you going to give the Falcons a break here? Or are you taking Russell Wilson? Everyone knows I take Seattle all the time. It's like when in doubt, take the Seahawks. And just every time something happens, you just clap along with Clappy, right? It's like
I was going to say, just count how many claps are in the game.
I love Clappy.
I'm on it. I'm on Atlanta here. 11-1 in their last 12 home openers against the number. I just think it's like you said, Seattle starts slow, and I think Atlanta's going to be out to sort of clear their name, that they are clear the disappointment off of their name a little bit, and I think they show up and get a win here. So I'll take Atlanta +1.
I think that Pete Carroll, he defines open competition. It's like when he says open competition, it's open competition. It's not like this guy's going to start. I don't care what happens. I mean, they say it's open competition, but it's not open competition. But Pete Carroll really does have open competition. Rod?
I take Atlanta here. I think Atlanta beats Seattle. I think Atlanta's going to surprise some people this year. I don't think they're going to have such a bad year as what they had last year.
Steve?
They just started off bad. They got themselves too far in a deep hole. In the very first games of the year, they just got too many losses. And what would they start 1-4 or something?
Well,
It was
they've had a lot of injuries in recent years.
They were worse. They were worse than that. I mean, Dan Quinn was actually the first one on the hot seat last season. That everybody thought he was going to be fired after week 7, week 6. So I'm going to take Atlanta here. I think they need to bounce back. They have to have a good year. They're home. Seattle gets off to a slow start typically. So I think Atlanta needs to win this game and set the tone for their season. I'll take Atlanta here.
We got the Raiders and the Panthers. Panthers +1 at home here. Of course, new coach Rule. This is one of those ones where I think the Raiders are going to be better than they were last year. They had a lot of rookies. They kind of had the way the Dolphins drafted this year, where they had a ton of picks, and it's like those guys just take time to kind of fill in. I like the addition of Ruggs, some of the other guys that they picked as well, but I think I like the Panthers in this spot. Chris?
Yeah, I'm still going to go with the Raiders. I need to see that Carolina's fixed up that defense that gave up almost 30 points a game last year. And like you said, the Raiders made some moves, and I just think the Raiders are going to sort of pound the ball down Carolina's throat here with that rushing attack. So I'll take the Raiders +1. I like the over 46 as well, though.
I think Chris stopped at the hash bar on the way to the duplex. Anyways, Steve.
I talked to the
No
Oklahoma line.
hash bars here in Oakland.
I don't think there's any hash. I don't think there's any legal hash bars in Mississauga either. But
The only hash that I'm getting is at the breakfast place down the street.
But on this, I'll take the Raiders here. Christian McCaffrey aside, Raiders have to be improved. Gruden's 3rd year now, so give me the Raiders.
Rod,
I like the over in this game. I think we're going to see some points, battle back and forth. And who would I take? Give me McCaffrey. I think he runs it right up.
we got the battle of the rookie QBs, superstars here, top 6 draft picks. Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert likely to face off here. I know Tyrod Taylor slated to be the starter in San Diego. I don't think that's going to last long. I just don't. I don't know if it lasts to this game or not. So, we can call it Herbert versus Burrow, but it could easily be 2 other guys. We don't know. But the Bengals are 3.5-point dogs at home. I like the home team here. I think the Chargers defense is sick though. I think it's going to be sick. I just think that we've seen what Anthony Lynn does in the easily winnable games, and it's not winning cover 3.5-point spreads on the road. Steve?
I'm going to take San Diego here. I think Tyrod Taylor will be the starting quarterback. I think, I don't think he's the worst.
Los Angeles Chargers.
The Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to be Burrow's first game. I think we can all assume that he'll start. I don't see Herbert playing until mid-season if Taylor gets hurt. But I think Taylor will.
Joe Mixon's gonna punch you in the face.
But to your point, the LA Chargers defense, Derwin James, Bosa, etc. I'm going to go San Diego here, even though they're on the road.
Rod?
Yeah, I'm going to take the LA Chargers as well. I'm not a bundled guy.
Chris?
I think
opening day with Joe Burrow. You guys it's all about. But there could be no stand. If there's no fans, see the whole thing is this opening day thing. If there's no fans in the stands, it obviously changes a lot.
Sure does.
Yeah, the Bungles. Here comes the Bungles.
I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of excitement in Cincinnati this year with this guy in there. They were excited as all get out. They knew all along they were going to draft this guy, and when they drafted him, it was like all over again. Like the excitement. Believe me, they are head over heels thrilled with this guy.
Yeah, does it translate to wins? We shall see.
I think it does.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals here. I just think that, it's like we said earlier, the Bengals didn't have AJ Green last year. He's probably gonna be back here. Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow. I just think there's a culture change in Cincinnati coming.
I think so too. I think we're gonna see. I think the Bengals are gonna be a little better than people think. Got the Cardinals and the 49ers. The Cardinals gave the 49ers fits last year.
Yes, they do.
Getting 8.5 points here. We saw the 49ers coming off that Super Bowl loss. A little bit salty, my guess, the way that they botched that one. Maybe Chris hangs with John Lynch at the country club. But anyways, we will. I'm going to take the Cardinals here. I have high hopes for the Cardinals. I do. I think the Cardinals are one of my teams. Like every year, you can look at the teams that made the playoffs last year and say about half those teams make the playoffs this year, is the way that it generally works. I think the Cardinals replace one of those half the teams in the NFC. And the NFC, it's going to be tough, you know. Did they add the other playoff team this year? Did they jumping right into the extra playoff thing? I think they do this year. So yeah, I like the Cardinals.
I know this is the 17 game schedule, but I don't know about the.
No, it's not a 17 game schedule.
I thought it was.
No.
For this season, I think it is.
No, I saw the schedule. It's 17 weeks. I looked at it. I checked. I double checked. I'll look again, but I'm pretty sure the schedule is 17 weeks.
Getting agreement, so it's in place now, right? So
I think they move about as fast as the Department of Motor Vehicles. I'm gonna Rod. Speaking of Calgary, who do you like in this one?
I like the Cardinals plus 8.5. That's way too many points in this divisional matchup.
Yeah, I think this game goes down to a touchdown at most. So I'll take Arizona as well.
I'm on the Cardinals. Too many points.
Bucks and the Saints. The Bucks beat the Saints in New Orleans last year. Tom Brady's first game with the Bucks, getting 4 points on the road. When do you see Tom Brady as a 4-point dog? Welcome to Tampa. I'm telling you, Bruce Arians is, he's one of my guys, right? I'm an Arians guy. I like him. I think that, he doesn't get a lot of credit. But, I think it could be going the other way in this one. A little too much fluff. And I think the Saints, they remember that game from last year. I think they're going to slaughter the Bucks in this one. And I think we're going to get some value on the Bucks after this. Steve?
Give me who dat. I'll take the Saints here.
Rod?
I'm going to take the Bucks. Tom Brady. Give me the Bucks. Gronk wins with a touchdown to win it.
Chris?
Yeah, I would take Tom Brady with points, but I think that the Bucks are going to take a little bit of time to gel together in game, and the Saints have everything together as it is right now. So that's like you said. I think the Saints want revenge. So I'll take the Saints -4.
Brady and Gronk have been gelling for 20 years.
Yep, they've had a year off to. They weren't playing together last year, so it's going to take a little bit of time to sort of reconnect a little bit. And I don't think Gronk's the same as where he was.
It's like riding a bike. No, he's in better shape than what he was.
It takes one.
We've got the Cowboys and Rams on Sunday Night Football to open things up in Los Angeles. I'm going to guess the new stadium's probably ready is why they're doing this. Because these are two non-playoff teams from a year ago and two teams that actually had a chance to make the playoffs, and neither of them was able to deliver the mail. I like the under on total plays before Sean Lee is out for the season, and I like the I'll tell you how down I am on the Cowboys. I'm going to take Jared Goff in the 2.5 points.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be betting against the Cowboys a lot. I saw on ESPN that they had like this thing like who's going to be the team that comes up and whatever. It's like everyone picked the Cowboys. It's like you're dead. You're dead to me.
Yeah,
Chris?
I'm on the Rams here. Yeah, I'm on the Rams.
See, it's a 17-week schedule with a bye, so. It's 16 games. Okay. I think the 17-game schedule starts next year.
Next year, okay. Yeah, I think then you're right. I knew it was one of the two rules that comes in this year, so it's probably the.
But there's a wild card round, a divisional round, in the championship. So they added an extra layer to the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like
But
they'll
yeah,
charge
I think-
more for the extra round playoff tickets than they will for an entire week of tickets for the entire league. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, I think the Rams and the points at play here.
Rod,
I'll take the Cowboys. I'm not betting the Rams.
Steve.
I'm taking the Rams at home. Cowboys going west. Never a good thing. I don't care. McCarthy's in charge now. It's going to take them a while to gel, if they even do. But I think the Rams at home.
Cowboys have the third easiest schedule this year.
I'm not one of the big believers in like trying to play catch up and bailout games and all that kind of stuff, but we have one here in the opener on Monday Night Football on the first game of the two for Monday night, and it's the Steelers and the Giants, and the line is 3 points for the Steelers, and I don't say things like this too often, but I say grab this line, bet it big now, and this will cover you for anything else that you lose over the course of the rest of the weekend in college and anything else, and any money that you lost, salary-wise or any otherwise during this entire COVID stoppage. That's what I have to say about this one. And we can only hope Daniel Jones is healthy to play this one. Steve?
I'm not going to dispute what you just said. I think this is a pretty favorable matchup here for the Steelers. So give me Big Ben coming back in the Steelers and Minka Fitzpatrick in the secondary and Daniel Jones starting for the Giants. I think it equals take the Steelers here.
It's going to be an ugly night.
Yeah, I'm gonna find an alternate line on that one. I'll take this one at -3 though.
Oh, that's the whole idea. You take it at 3, and it's like there's your, you can take alternate lines and all that stuff, but when you have a chance to really grab a winner, you take that, and then you kind of build off it the rest of the weekend, it gives us,
Win by a touchdown.
I like to build, Chris?
Go to Bet365 and bet on Minka Fitzpatrick to have 3 interceptions in the game.
Ben Roethlisberger should be back for this one too, and the Steelers got their new wide receiver. Give them a new toy to play with, and all kinds of stuff going on here. Throw in. The Giants did get a new offensive tackle there, so they're gonna have a rookie offensive tackle playing against that TJ Watt guy. That should be a nice matchup for the Giants too. Welcome to the NFL. That's I don't know. We got the Broncos hosting the Titans. The Titans were underdogs in every playoff game and almost every game last season down the stretch. Ryan Tannehill taking center stage here. I'm gonna go with the Broncos at home. I think if there's fans, if there's no fans, I like Tennessee. Because I think they'll just run the ball and play keep away. But if there is fans, I like Denver here. I think Denver traditionally brutal place to play, and at opening night, Monday night. I know the Titans are they're okay, but Ryan Tannehill's a guy that we saw him get rattled in Kansas City, and he will get rattled. We've seen him rattle. Well, it wasn't the first time he's been rattled. Steve?
Yeah, I agree. Denver's a hotbed to play in. However, you give me Derrick Henry and the Tennessee defense, I'll take Tennessee. Drew Lock, is probably going to start. I guess it's second year, whatever. I think Denver has still a little too many holes for me. I'll take Tennessee here.
Chris?
Yeah, I want Tennessee as well. I think I'm gonna lean the way you did, Mitch. If there's fans in the stands, I'll go Denver. But right now, the way it's looking, I'll probably go Tennessee plus the 1.5.
Rod?
I'll take Denver at home. Not an easy place to play.
All right, well, we'll have plenty of times to talk about these games, and we'll give out more picks, and we're going to have our Sunday NFL show over opening day and, the opening week shows, and I'll be doing videos on all these games, and we'll have all kinds of crap going on, man. We're going to be so excited for football when it comes, and I'll tell you, we're going to be excited for any sports when we get it. I don't count the Korean baseball or Chinese baseball or Belarus soccer. I don't count any of that stuff, but it is going on, and we do cover it at Sports Chat Place and over at pickdogs.com. But anyways, we do have sim games. I think we're running a little long. Maybe the guys will just put their Chris's Sims picks are at the site at Sports Chat Place. Rod can post his in the Facebook group. I just don't feel like doing it. I think we covered a lot of ground here. We're running a little long.
Me either. I'm really not. These sim picks are like.
All right, so
they're dreadful.
You can get the sim picks over at Sports Chat Place. Chris, what are the games? Actually, Chris, just say what the matchups are, and we'll all just say team with no explanations. Just give the game and the spread, and we'll all just say, randomly. Go ahead.
Right.
It's just
12 Eastern
No,
Patriots.
not 12 Eastern. Just Patriot, the team A, team B, and the point spread.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. Sorry, should have learned that by now. Patriots at Giants. Patriots minus 10.
You could go Patriots minus 10 at Giants. Patriots.
Patriots.
I'll bet against simulated Daniel Jones. Next.
Cowboys minus 4.5 at the Texans.
Texans.
Cowboys.
Bears. Bears at Ravens. Ravens minus 6.
Ah!
Ravens.
Team A versus Team B with the point spread.
Ravens.
It's not a two-sentence process. It's just this is what behind the scenes looks like at Sports Chat Place. I shit you not.
Chiefs minus 6.
I want the exact amount of blueberries in every muffin. You know how long that will take? I don't care how long it will take.
Chiefs minus 6 at Falcons, and I'm done.
Chiefs.
Falcons.
Chris?
Oh. Wasn't prepared for that. Over.
We asked for your actual opinion here. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks, guys. It's been real. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we have great news out of Major League Baseball, including a full schedule and exactly how it's going to go. We're going to sit here and just be jumping for joy that sports are going to be restarting. Everyone be safe out there. We're going to phase 3 here in Hawaii. So hopefully that's good news for everyone. Have a great day. We'll see you.